Ooh, it looks like we are live. I can see it on my phone.
Nice. And now we know it doesn't auto mute us when the countdown's playing.
Yeah,
So
we figured that out. Sorry. New platform means new growing pains.
yes,
Um,
we're liking this one. So yep, I see it on mine too. So we are a go, my dear.
all right. Good morning and welcome everyone to the Dark Roast. I'm Donna Stroll and I'm here with my beautiful co-host Rose.
What up?
And today we are going to talk about YouTube and utilizing it for your affiliate marketing or your online marketing. Because not all online marketing is affiliate marketing, but affiliate marketing is online marketing. So
And YouTube is one of the easiest ways to get started and get monetized and get those multiple income streams building. So
yeah, and I mean, obviously, you have to be comfortable with being online and having your face, not necessarily having your face, but at least be building out your videos and stuff like that. So as with everything, there is certain comfort zones that you have to find, what works for you. There's some really basic things like right off the bat, you got to know who you're talking to, right? I mean, as with any channel that you decide to build your business in, you need to understand who your audience is, what their needs are, and who you're talking to, why you're talking to them, their pain points, what you solve for them, and then also how you're going to do that, right? So
yes, exactly. Sorry, I got distracted. We
there's
might
different.
need to change a setting because I think we might be streaming friends only instead of public. But
Oh,
that's,
really?
which also means, unfortunately, guys, if you're commenting, we are not going to see it in the studio. So we will try to pop over to our friends or our
Mine says
profiles.
public. Mine is streaming public, so maybe that's something that we
Okay.
need to set up. Your comments is not visible unless the stream is set to public. Mine is currently set to public, so Rose's
Mine
may
should
not.
be. I don't know why it's not.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm looking on my phone and I can see that mine is. So if we'll pop in and take a look either way.
Yeah.
All right. So, some of the different content types that you can utilize when building out your YouTube channel for your marketing business are things like product reviews, or you can do tutorials, edutainment, or you can just do straight entertainment. You can do unboxing videos, is another one. Lots of people do those as well. Um, what else is there? Roundup videos.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
if you use particular products and stuff like that, you can sort of say what you put all together. There's a guy that my husband listens to a lot. He's like Quack Bang. What does he call? He's like the fat electrician or something like that. And he does. He actually his YouTube channel is based around um, telling stories, usually dedicated to like old war stories. But what he does is he finds like unsung heroes, people that don't really, like these crazy guys or whatever, or women who have done something amazing that don't get a lot of information. So he does a lot of stories around that. But he has tons of different little affiliate things and sponsors and whatnot that he has and that he puts into his stories. So he's very entertaining, and then he has his advertisers and whatnot that he's brought in. So I think that that's kind of neat. I mean, that shows that it doesn't necessarily have to be product specific
Yeah.
building out your channel.
Yeah, Ryan George is another good one that does that. He's got a couple of channels. He's got like the pitch meetings where it's him talking to him, who's an exec, pitching different movies, and there's a line that he always says in all of them, and it's pointing out continuity errors and stuff like that as well, and it's hilarious. And his are mostly, most of his money is coming from his views, obviously, but then sponsorships or paid advertising, paid promotions, things like that. But he's hysterical.
So yeah, so it shows that while you want your channel to be consistent in who you're reaching, That doesn't mean that it has to be all sales or all product related or all that kind of stuff. Because I think that sometimes when we think about using our YouTube channel as a sales channel, that we're thinking that we basically have to be a nonstop commercial or infomercial.
Yeah.
And while infomercials are very effective, it doesn't necessarily have to be your specific brand, right? So,
Yeah, and you can have multiples, right? So like I have like product review videos I've done on some of the different affiliate marketing courses and whatnot, but then also of course our podcast goes on it, and then my Ice Wellness podcast goes on it as well. So it's okay to have a variation of things on your YouTube channel, assuming that it all fits into still what you're doing. I mean, I
mhm.
wouldn't necessarily have like vastly different subjects on the same one.
Yeah. And I mean, sometimes I think also we're told a lot to niche down, niche down, niche down. And I think sometimes we forget that sometimes what a niche is literally maybe who we're talking to, the demographic, you
Hmm.
know? So, maybe it's talking to older people or talking to younger people or college students, first year college students. Maybe that's your niche, right? And there are so many things that can go into that, but maybe that's where your channel is dedicated. So you don't necessarily have to niche down into like the tiniest, teeniest little nitty gritty if that's just not going to work for you.
Yeah. One thing with with YouTube, sorry, that's slightly more important, say than any of the other video channels, is your thumbnails and your titles, right? So it's really important to have an eye-catching visual, and of course, keywords. You see this a lot with kind of the clickbaity titles, where it's like, "Oh, this dog almost killed the owner," but like it really didn't. It's just funny, or like it's a video on dog aggression, and it's a dog who like looks like he's about to eat somebody, right? Like you see those a lot. There's nothing necessarily wrong with that, because you do want your thumbnails to be super catchy and make somebody go, um, "Oh, what is that? What's happening?" Right? But don't be too clickbaity about it. And YouTube does have a nice thing now too, where you can split test thumbnails really easily.
Yeah. And so your thumbnail, obviously, you want like catchy, you want your graphics to sort of stand out. So sometimes colors or maybe face or and obviously your hook, like you said. And then, but that's just part of it, right? Then you also have to work onto your descriptions. You can't
Yes,
just put in, this is a video of me and my dog. I mean, you
it's so
can,
nice if you could.
but it's not going to really do much, right? You have to use that description area to make sure that you've got your keywords, the things that your video is actually about, and you can't just keyword stuff it, right?
Yeah.
And it's not like um, Facebook or whatever or TikTok where you've got a limited, so you want to keep it short. You actually want to, pardon my phone. Um, you actually want to have a good description that explains what your video is about. This is also where you can put links,
Hmm.
right? You can put links to your products. You can put your chapter breakdowns if you want. Like if you're doing lots of different things, you can put your chapter breakdowns in there, make it easier for people. But yeah, you want to utilize that, and you want to make sure that it's got your keywords and the information that you're trying to get across. Make it fun, make it interesting.
Yeah, and you can have a nice like outline saved somewhere, but I have noticed that like about a year ago, everyone was like, "Oh, chapters! You got to put your chapters in there. Like chapters are super important." Da, da, da. And then when I started working with SEO and backlink people, like they were completely taking the chapters out because they were like, "Yeah, no, this doesn't do anything." So it's for some forms of video though; those are still helpful, right? So make sure that you have a couple different templates saved, because maybe what works for this video niche isn't going to work for this video niche or something like that. And there's a lot of stuff with YouTube that I don't even fully understand. I'll admit that freely because there's a lot of nuance.
Mhm.
So, there's plenty of videos out there, there's plenty of articles out there on how to really optimize. And then you can always hire somebody who knows more than you too.
Yeah, and I mean, this goal, like this is basically if you're beginning towards it. Obviously, if you're a more advanced YouTube person and you've got a lot more experience, then this is going to be like meh, right? But
Yeah.
those are the people you seek out for more information, right? Back to the
Yeah.
mentorship. There's a reason we all love mentors and coaches. They have purpose. They help us get better. So, and don't forget to put in your CTA. I struggle. We all struggle with this. At the end,
Mhm.
remind people to like, subscribe, share, all that sort of stuff. If you're selling products, invite them to check it out or check out your other products or your other videos or anything like that. The whole goal is to, engage your audience and, ask them to do more, because honestly, they'll do nothing if you
Yeah.
don't ask them to, right? If you ask them to, and then all of a sudden they'll be like, "Oh, click." Right?
Mhm.
I forgot about the, like, just hitting the like button, right?
Yep. I caught myself doing that. I was watching a really epic GCN video with Dr. Ollie Bridgewood, and there's a point where he's like, hey, if you like this, you'll like it, share it, maybe give a super thanks. And I was like, oh, I forgot that's even an option. And, so I did because I love that channel and I freaking love Dr. Bridgewood. So, but I wouldn't have thought of it if he hadn't said it, which sounds so basic, but like it's true, right? You get into the
Well,
video and everything else underneath, you just kind of forget about.
Well, yeah, because it's not like, I mean, yes, you can do YouTube Shorts as well, but a lot of YouTube is at least 5 minutes long. A lot of times they're up to 20 minutes long. They're, especially if you're getting information or something like that. So it's almost like watching a TV program, and we don't click a like on a TV program. Even a short one, we don't like. Oh yeah, I like that. So it's not like Facebook where you're just scrolling through and going cute, click, cute, click. I like that, click. Oh, that's useful. Yeah. So on and so forth, right? YouTube has a different kind of experience. So yeah, people do need to be reminded, even if it's to remind them of, hey, check out my links, or check out, if you want more information, check out my website or check out my program, that kind of stuff, because that direction is helpful for people.
Yep. And that transitions us nicely into how to set up your channel, right? So, first impressions definitely matter. So, professional branding, this is your banner. Make sure your banner is also set up to where it makes sense for mobile video or mobile, desktop, and television, because YouTube has all those different options and it really does change your banner depending on what you're viewing it on.
Yeah, from tiny to
Your
big.
thumbnail should be super clear. Like I can usually tell the people who don't actually have a YouTube channel that are just keyboard warriors or trolls because their picture's terrible. Your about section, right? So highlight, why you're the expert in that field, or why you started the channel, or what your goals are, like anything like that, right? And then any part of that about section that can include the keywords for your niche is going to be super helpful to help people find you as well.
Well, yeah, and because I have done searching more, maybe I've liked a video or two, so then I go to their main channel and I read about who they are and what they have. So this works if you are, say you do tarot, right? Tarot is an option. There are tarot decks. I have a couple of people that I like, that I follow, who sell courses on how to do your tarot. They have more in-depth, like, connections. There are some that sell one-to-one. A lot of them don't, though. A lot of the ones that have more established don't sell one-to-one readings. They're like, no, that's not what I'm here for, right? They do the public ones, but they're more interested in selling their courses and their decks and that kind of thing. So they've turned it into a business, where they're not spending all of their time doing one-to-one readings, right? But they have all that information in their about them sections. They also have usually a highlight video, like one of their more important videos. They'll have that highlighted as to who they are, or they'll have just an intro video on who they are. That's a good way to utilize your about section. So
And those are super nice because then when people visit your channel, it'll autoplay. Usually you can set it up that way, and then you're getting automatic view time just for them being on your channel. So,
yeah. And then the next thing you want to do, if you're going to utilize it for your affiliate marketing or your online marketing, is joining your affiliate programs if you haven't already. Finding the right fit for you. So whatever program that you're going to do, it has to be the right thing for you. So whether it's products or courses or coaching programs or, a service, it doesn't really matter. It has to fit with you and who you think your audience is. Because if you, and also with no matter what affiliate program that you plan to get connected with, make sure they're viable. Make sure that they're trustworthy because you're putting your name behind it. And so you want to be able to make sure that it's trustworthy, just so that you get paid, because we all know a few different ones that kind of screwed us over.
Oh yeah.
um, and that, so the hype might be out there, but do your due diligence. you know um, and that doesn't mean that you still won't end up sometimes aligning or signing up for something that ends up not being a good fit, or ends up being a scam, because we're human. And if everybody's saying it's awesome, you might believe them, but then you find out, yeah, no, they're just a bunch of dick bags. So
Yeah. Or they're doing stuff on the back end you don't know about, and then they get into some legal trouble.
yeah,
We've
yeah,
seen
yeah.
that too.
Yeah. So, and, so just make sure that you're researching whatever it is that you're going to affiliate, because you're going to be putting it on YouTube. And unlike Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or TikTok or Threads, where it scrolls through, YouTube is a much more long lasting platform, right? So it's going to sit there a lot longer until you delete it. And even then, it's still going to be in the Wayback Machine or whatever they call it now. So
Right.
the Internet Archive.
Yes. And then planning strategically comes into effect with YouTube, right? Because one of the great things about YouTube is you can schedule out a lot of stuff just within the platform itself. You can do lives, like there's a lot of things you can do, but if you're just randomly posting videos, you're not likely to get pushed because YouTube is like any other platform. It likes and it has its own algorithm. It likes to see consistency. So, if consistency for you is 3 p.m. every Tuesday, that's fine. It's going to start to learn that. And with shorts, especially, YouTube likes to have it scheduled at least 48 hours in advance because then it can factor through everything that's in there and realize who to push it out to. So you're less likely to have a video go viral if you just post it to YouTube versus scheduling it. So scheduling is super, super important. And
Yeah.
then you can use, TubeBuddy or vidIQ is the one I use. There's a lot of different tools out there to kind of show you like what keywords are trending, which ones to stay away from, things like that, or even help you find topics in your niche, right? So maybe you've talked about your key content bucket stuff over and over again. And you're looking for something new. You can figure out what else is going on in your niche that they might want to talk about.
Which is pretty cool, because that's, extra little bits of support. Um, you're, and the nice thing is with YouTube, because it's more evergreen content, you don't need to be posting 3 times a day.
Mm-hmm.
You can literally have where you go once a week or you go twice a week, whatever. I mean, you can certainly schedule out more if you want to, but as long as you're consistent, it's not as necessary, because maybe you're doing a 30-minute video, an information video, so you don't want to be doing one every single day. That might be a little excessive for you. Um, and you don't have to, because it's evergreen, which means that people are going to be coming back to it.
Mm-hmm. And usually the creators that are posting, multiple videos, it's because they have multiple teams helping them.
Yes. Yeah. Like if you're watching somebody and they've got, a lot of viewership, just assume that they have support,
Yeah.
you know?
What is his name? I just lost it. He's a British dude that lives in the Czech Republic. For the life of me, can't think of his name. But he's got like 12 different channels now, and he's Simon Whistler. Simon Whistler. Very funny guy, very smart, very open about the fact that he doesn't write his own scripts. He doesn't do his own research. He doesn't edit his own videos anymore. Like he goes in, he records, and that's what he does. But
This
he
is where
again,
I want to be in my life. I want to be
right?
able to handle
Exactly.
it, everything off, so that I can just do what I do. Right.
Exactly.
I want to be able to help people and, coach them through tough moments in their life. I don't want to be doing all of the other stuff. I like
Hmm.
the education part of it, but again, I don't want to have to do all the setup and the promotion. That's not where I want to be. So,
Yeah.
as you grow, the opportunity to hire people to help you out, even with basic like your SEO, right? Just one little piece. You don't have to do it all at once. You can pick a piece at a time, what's most important to you at that time, and hand that off.
Yeah.
And then, because we know that we're talking mostly to solopreneurs anyway, you know, you want to be able to produce higher quality videos, but you don't need to spend countless amounts of money. Our phones have amazing cameras nowadays. Most of us have pretty good cameras on our phones, and so you can utilize your phone. That is perfectly acceptable. You probably want to invest in some lighting. They have the little clip-on mics. Some of them are actually pretty good, and they're not super expensive. So you can do that, and you can actually do it on the go if you want to. If you're an outdoors one, you don't have to necessarily have a studio. If you're going to be indoors and you have the ability or the space to do it, try to record somewhere where the sound isn't echoing everywhere.
Yeah.
And as you grow, your tools will also grow with you, right? And you can fix some of that stuff in editing as well. So
And there's some awesome free editors out there. Like CapCut is one that I know you and I both use that we freaking
yeah.
love. Like that is what we exclusively use on the dogs channel. And I mean, you can, we use 4 different GoPros on our bike joint rides, and you can auto sync those videos really easily with CapCut, which makes it a whole lot easier too. So there's tons of free editing software out there. And then, of course, Canva for thumbnails, stuff like that. So the Canva is good for intro and outro videos as well. I've made all of the intro and outro videos for all the podcasts and whatnot in Canva. Um, there was another one that I think Clipchamp also had some really good free intro outro stuff for YouTube. So it's, as long as you're uploading to YouTube in 4K or higher, it does prioritize 4K over anything else. But you can export from CapCut in 4K for free. It
Hmm.
just takes a little bit longer.
And it makes it very big. So just make sure you have the space on your system to be able to do it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Fair.
so um so yeah, your audio, if you have to pick A over B, pick your audio, because people need to be able to hear you, and they need to be able to hear you well. They'll put up with a little bit of, if it's not like this perfect studio quality sound, but if it's really difficult to hear you, or if it's really super noisy and people are trying to hear you over the noise, that's going to be a problem. So just, these are small things. And like for CapCut, I will say that the pro version is like, with taxes for me is 847. So if you have $9 a month to drop, then it might be worth it. And that includes the taxes. It's like $7.99 plus taxes or whatever.
Mhm.
And that just opens up more options for you. So it's a pretty cheap add-on that to me I would say is probably worth it.
Nice. And CapCut also has the auto long to short format, right? So if you don't want to go through and cut your video into shorts, CapCut will do it for you. It's not perfect, I would say. You probably want to watch them before, but they'll also give you thumbnails. They'll give you suggested descriptions and things like that. So it is super beneficial if you're like crunched for time.
Yeah, and the other pro feature, they've made it so that it is available for free, but it does truncate, and that is transcribing, so that you can do editing with your transcription, which is super convenient.
Yeah.
So,
All
what's the
right.
next one? Oh yeah, your YouTube features.
Yep, kind of touched on this already, right, with the chapter markers. But there's a lot more that goes into it.
Oh yeah, for sure. So your playlists, right? You want to build your playlists, especially if you're covering different topics. Um, Going back to, well, like let's say homesteading. Homesteading is another one that I like to sort of watch and see what people are doing. So they might have, a playlist that is specifically for canning or specifically for new homesteaders and the things that they'll need to get started. So they'll have that breakdown to all of those different things. And then they can also connect each of those things to different affiliate products. So if they're canning, right, then they can give you links to their bell jars and their preferred canning equipment that they utilize. And if it's for homesteading for the beginners, here's the different products that you're going to need to get set up and all of those different kinds of things. So it's a good way that you can also tie in your products or your services or whatever it is that you're selling, but also makes it easier for the person who's looking at it, right?
Yeah.
So
And it makes it really useful for your end screens, right? Because then you can be like, hey, if you like this playlist, maybe check out this playlist. vidIQ actually recommends that every single video you do be on at least one playlist, if not multiple. And so even if it's like a random lifestyle type video, have a random lifestyle playlist because it'll just help compartmentalize your stuff for YouTube, for the algorithm, as well as for anybody watching it. And then, again, end screens are great. The cards, if you have a store available on your YouTube channel, I know that like I have the Spread Shop store. When you get partially monetized, you have access to that. You can tag products that you're wearing. So, like if I was wearing one of the shirts or coffee cup, I could tag that so that people, could then go to the shop and whatnot, and that'll appear at the bottom as well. So there are a lot of like interactive elements at the end that you can add. I know there's also a way I've seen GCN specifically do it. I don't know how it's done, but when they say like go ahead and hit that subscribe, you can actually highlight the subscribe, and it'll rotate a few times, and then you can do the same thing with the like. I'm not exactly sure how they're doing that, but it's really really cool to see. But that again helps bring your user retention in and brings it down to that subscribe button. So if they're not subscribed, they can click it or they can go ahead and click that thumbs up. So lots of different little things you can do. Or again, there's like the emojis you can use at the point down and stuff like that. So
yeah, and as you become more comfortable, then you can add in things like you don't have to. I think it's important to remind people on a regular basis that you don't have to do everything all at once.
yeah.
Get good at one piece, move on to the next piece. You get good at your basics, and then you can move on to the next step and become, intermediate and all that sort of thing. You don't have to know everything all at once. You just have to be willing to continue to learn or have enough money to outsource it and let
Yeah.
somebody else be the guru on that process.
And one thing that made it easier for me in the beginning was I had my intro and outro videos, but then I also did a call to action video and a like product promotion video. So like obviously Bones, I'm an affiliate for. I'm an affiliate for them for a long time. So I would have a like, check out Bones Coffee type video. And then I'd have one that was like, hey, thank you so much for watching. If you're enjoying my content, please do remember to hit that like and subscribe, because then you don't have to remember to say it every time and you can just cut it into the middle of your video somewhere where it makes sense, right? So there are little things you can do to make it easier in the beginning.
Absolutely makes sense. David Bayer does that because he's got a book that just recently came out. So he doesn't promote other people. Like he doesn't open up his channel for advertising. I think there's advertising at the very beginning and at the very end, but within his videos, he doesn't allow advertising. So he has like one video, like a little one that he pops in the middle about his new book that he just recently put out or something like that. And then he has his, another one. She has a exit video that is, an outro that is just talks about her channel and hey, if you want to learn more and make sure you like and subscribe and all that good stuff. So she doesn't have to think about it. And I love that concept.
Yeah. And then, of course, promotion, right? So, just like any other social media, you got to promote it. So, blogs are a great way to promote your YouTube channel. Email marketing, of course, is a great way. Talking about it on Facebook, like we do that a lot. Um, there's just even we talk about it with other social medias as well, but collaborations, right? So maybe getting another channel to mention you, or you mention another channel type thing, like that's a great way to expand your reach as well.
Yeah. And yeah, Jonathan Montoya uses his email list quite heavily to promote his blog or to promote his YouTube. Like, so I mean, yeah, at the end, hey, if you want more information about this particular topic that I've just sent you some data on, or you want to learn more about me, here's my YouTube channel. Or yeah, here's this YouTube, here's this episode where I talk specifically about this one thing, which is a great way to really promote your YouTube channel and get it out there. And, especially if you've already got an email list built, or if you've been focusing on building your email list, leverage it for your YouTube channel.
Yeah. Facebook groups can be another good one too, assuming that you have permission to drop YouTube links or anything like that in. That happens a lot within the ice bath groups that I'm in, where someone will ask about a medical condition or something. I'll be like, oh, I did a Wellness Wednesday video about that. And then I can just drop that in rather than having to sit there and explain it. And then, of course, that links to the studies as well, so they can read the studies on their own.
Yeah. So, I mean, like anything else, it's very symbiotic, right? You want to be able to move it all together. Like we have a YouTube channel, but we go live on Facebook,
Yep.
right? We start there and then we post this up for the following week in our YouTube channel. So, if you want it live, you have to be friends with us, or and not really friends with us, because honestly, we're live and we're public. So even if you're not friends and you're curious, you can connect with us there.
Yes.
Um, and then the next thing, like with any kind of social media, is you have to engage your audience. You know, you got to make sure that you're replying to your comments, because you're not just posting it up. You're trying to build a community. So, if you're going live, then you try to have that interaction. If people comment, respond as well as you can. Try to pay attention to what's going on, that kind of stuff. Um, I don't know if you can do polls or not in YouTube, but I mean,
You
doesn't
can
really.
do posts, which I
Yeah.
find interesting. So possibly.
Yeah, that is true. Now they've made the post thing so people can put up statements and comments and whatnot, and it doesn't have to be a video. But that's in addition in your channel, because YouTube is still a video channel, right? Whether you're faceless or you've got your face everywhere, right? So, and even if you're doing a faceless channel, you still have to interact with and build your community. You can't just ignore questions, or sometimes people will provide feedback, and that's really important to be able to listen to as well. Like I was one, it was like a meditation, those frequency
Hmm.
audio frequency ones, and somebody put one up and it was quite long, um but it was like a really nice low frequency. And for me, I love that kind of, like, just being able to, like, listen. Problem was is that they had ads throughout it. So it's a
Mm.
meditation sound, but it was being busted up like every 5 to 10 minutes with an ad. I'm out, right? I can't relax anymore. And so many people commented on it and they didn't do anything about it. So it's like, why would I even listen or look at that channel? Because they're not taking feedback.
And though those kind of channels are suffering because those kind of channels used to monetize, and then I think a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago now, YouTube was like, "Well, there's no actual viewer retention here, so we're not going to allow these to monetize anymore." And so a lot of the channels that were making money just off of people meditating for an hour stopped earning money, and so they had to find another way to do it. And unfortunately, ad revenue is the way they went about it.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of them too. Also, like, if you go to their abouts, they have, like, you can buy their audios and stuff like that. So I guess it depends on whether you were good at it and you have a consistency or not, right? So
Yeah. Well, and again, if you're getting it for free, why would you buy it, right?
So I don't have to set my YouTube.
Well, or you just pay for YouTube Premium, which takes ads out.
Well, that's true.
Because that's what I do. Because I got sick of ads. Sorry.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
And then
but
your favorite thing.
analyze. Yes, I love analyzing. I love analyzing so much. Analytics are just fascinating to me. So yes, obviously, YouTube has great analytics. vidIQ, which I've talked about, has great analytics. So I am a free user of vidIQ. I have not upgraded yet, but I know when you upgrade, it also tells you like ideal times that your content is doing well, things like that. Social Blade is another one that's going to show you kind of where your most active demographic is, so that you can kind of tailor your posting to that. Like with the dogs, we get a lot of people in New York watching our content. Don't really know why, but we do. So usually our first short in the morning goes out at 4 o'clock in the morning, our time, because it's 6 or 7 in the morning, their time. So all of these things are really, really great to really analyze what's going on. And it's a great way to build out a subscription model with your YouTube, right? Because YouTube has member only content,
Right.
um, which can be like, okay, well, this like demographic is maybe more serious about my stuff. They're asking more questions, and these are questions they're asking. So let me make some member specific videos, and then you can make money that way as well. So it's just one of the extra ways. And that's one of the great things about YouTube. And that's like why we want to do this video, right? You can get ad revenue, you can get your shop, you can get your affiliate links, you can get your watch time bonus, you can build out a membership. Like that right there is 5 ways to build income just with YouTube. And that's without paid promotions.
Yeah. That's like a single channel. So,
Yeah.
look at
Single
all the
channel,
things.
5 ways.
Yeah. So that's why, yeah. And it's evergreen. So
Mhm.
it's not gone, it's not gone in 15 minutes. So that continual, that will bring the residual passive income that we always are striving for, right? It's not passive in that you didn't have to do anything, but once you did the thing, it's done. And it continues to pay you back for that, which is, super awesome. We like that because that's the part of the passive that we love.
Mhm. Exactly. So,
So there you go. And then there's some things that you obviously want to focus on for your growth. We've already talked about engagement and the value of that, your SEO.
mhm.
Again, your keywords matter. They always matter. YouTube is a search engine. So treat it like a search engine when you're putting your content up. Make sure that it actually is going to reach the people that you want it to reach. And that's by, optimizing your SEO and your keywords. And then content variety, you can't hammer on about, you can be in the same vein, obviously, but you can't just talk about one thing one way all the time. If you mix it up, like you can be talking about the same thing, but maybe one video is informative and one is more, and like say it's a product specific. One can be the information about the product. One can be an unboxing about the product. One can be a review about the product. One can show how it's being used in different areas. So just mix it up.
Yeah, but be careful with that, right? Especially as you start to become successful, because we see it a lot with YouTube channels where like there was one that like he just basically started doing videos about some of the more interesting roadside tows that he had to do because he ran a tow truck company, and it was like him and one other dude. And then as the channel grew, he of course was able to upgrade and whatnot. And now like those videos are still out there, but the videos that he specifically does are more lifestyle videos of like, oh look, I've made all this money, now I'm going vacationing here and I'm going vacationing here, which is fine. But if you're the person that was watching, the like how he tows the trucks, or how the stories behind it and whatnot, you don't care. And we already know that like people love the story of the struggle, but they don't care once you become successful, right? Like that
Yeah.
because they no
So
longer
that's
connect with it.
yeah, that's a big change from what was to what is, right?
Yeah.
It's not all still centered around what. he was doing, it's actually flip flopped to something completely different.
Yeah.
You know, it's remember that your story needs to be relatable too. I mean, that goes for any affiliate marketing, right? Yes, you can tell your struggle story, but if you talk a lot about how amazing your life is now, and but this is where I what I had to go through to get there, understand that not everybody's going to be able to relate to you, because if your struggle was 5 years ago and now you've been, being a boss babe for the last 5 years, and you struggled for 4 months, they're not going to get that, right? Some people will, but some people would be like, nah, man, you're not really speaking my language. Like, you're so far removed from me now. I don't understand. So,
Well, and your
it,
backstory doesn't have to be the first 5 minutes of every freaking video you do.
yeah, no.
So,
Nope, it really doesn't.
so, so again, guys, if you're doing affiliate marketing specifically with your YouTube, you can still even utilize YouTube Shorts. So like unboxing videos are great for that, which we already talked about. If it's fashion, modeling videos, if it's coffee, make a latte, show it off, kind of thing. I do those quite a bit for Bones, or at least I used to. I haven't done one for quite a while. I've been kind of lazy. Um, but there's lots of ways that you can still do that as well. And the CTAs, of course, are like your coupon codes or things like that. So tons and tons of different ways. You just don't want to choose products that you're not actually using. You
Yeah.
don't want to overload on products, right? So I am very honest about the fact that I do not wear activewear as clothing. So I'm not going to promote 30 different activewear brands because there's no reason for me to. I barely wear the activewear I have. I will say the Be Fit stuff I wear more often because it's more comfortable and more efficient for what I am doing. But so every time another company reaches out to me, I'm like, hey, like I appreciate it, but no. Because you don't want to be the person who promotes everything, because then again you lose it's no longer authentic and it's no longer honest.
Yeah.
Being too salesy, of course, like is a huge one we talk about all the time. And then failing to disclose affiliate relationships. This is big everywhere, like blogging, YouTube, all of those things. Like you want them to know. I think you actually have to put in, like if it's an Amazon link, you have to put Amazon affiliate link at the end of the link.
Yeah.
Disclaimers are great. I have auto disclaimers for all of my videos about, affiliate links and things like that. I put them in my blog. I put it everywhere because you want to make sure that you're being completely transparent, both from a authenticity and trust perspective, as well as a legal perspective.
Yeah. And it doesn't hurt to always brush up and see what the laws are, especially if you're an affiliate, and always pay attention to the rules, terms and conditions of whatever platform you're using, because they're going to tell you. So it's your job to pay attention, and see what works for you and what doesn't work for you.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so there's lots that can go into it. But I mean, really, the first step is just creating one and being consistent with your content. And once if you, especially if you've already got your idea of what you're selling, just build it out and ask people. Don't be afraid to ask people, because there's plenty of people out there who are going to provide you the information that you need step by step. So we have not discussed what we are going to discuss next week.
We have not at all.
All right. So anything in particular that got your bean going?
Not
Um,
really. Anybody watching with comments? I don't see anything.
okay.
Let's see. One thing I did find interesting is that Instagram right now is seriously, they just updated their terms. Well, Meta in general updated their terms and conditions, and they are really cracking down on the automation stuff. To the point that people who are using VAs are actually getting like notifications of like, hey, this looks automated. Or if you're using automation, like this could be a problem. So
So
I found that interesting.
so what do you think that means?
I'm not sure because I haven't actually read through the terms and conditions, but I think what it means is not necessarily ManyChat, but either like people that are using auto commenters.
Oh, I see.
and
I
things
see.
like
I see.
that are going to start getting. They're going
They
to
want you to get back to
drop
being
them
authentic.
down.
That's
Yes, which
crazy.
you know what I'm all for.
I'm down with that too. Um, okay, well, maybe we do affiliate marketing for non-techies.
Ooh, yes.
Because yeah, let's face it, you know, a lot of people that get into this aren't super technical, and especially um, maybe people in my generation, well, my generation or older. But I shouldn't say that because there are people who are like just anti-technology at this point. They know how to they know how to scroll social media, but not how to create anything that goes onto it, other
Look,
than
I didn't have a smartphone until 3 years ago. Okay, some of
all
us are
right.
Luddites. Some of us are
So,
very happy just disappearing in the mountains. I guess that's actually like 5 years ago now. I'm gonna give us
all
5 years.
right. So we will be discussing the non-techie, how to get started without a tech background because there is lots of support out there for you. All
Yeah,
right, folks. It's been actually a long one, which we made up for last week, which was a short one.
right.
If you found this helpful, please drop a comment, share, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Your feedback is super helpful to us in growing this channel and keeping it going. We are almost at, this is episode 51. So next episode will be our full year of episodes for you guys. And we love it. So if you have any questions or if there's anything specific that you would like us to talk about, by all means, drop them in the comments and let us know. And we will do our best to cover that for you. All right. That's it. That's all. Happy Friday, everyone. I hope you had a great turkey day, whatever you did on that day, whether it was working or sleeping or eating, whatever it was.
Avoiding family fights or not going to see your family at all, that's fine too.
Yeah, again, sleeping, eating, working, all the good things. All right, everyone, stay safe and happy Friday.